What's up, Vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Council of Vapor Tempest mod. Alright guys, so I've been dying to show you this device for the past couple of weeks, but as you know, I've had Fresh Build Week a couple of weeks ago, then it was VCCPA. Now I'm just trying to play catch up and do the products that I received in the order that I received them for my reviews. And finally, the Tempest 200W box mod made it to the top of that list. So here we go with this review. So first of all, before we begin, I do have to state my intent by saying that I did receive this product for free for the purpose of doing this video review. However, it has no monetary value to me, which means my opinions on it will remain honest and unbiased. With that being said, I would also like to give a huge shout out to the people over at Council of Vapor. They're the ones that sent it to me for the purpose of doing this video review, so thank you guys so much. I really appreciate their continued support, and they've been helping me along the way with all my stuff to review, so thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. Anyways, guys, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's go down into the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we have our Council of Vapor Tempest in its original box. So very quickly, let's just go around the packaging and take a look at what we got here. Council of Vapor logo, Tempest 200W right there. Tempest logo on either side. On the bottom, we have their social media information. And on the top, the color and the wattage, 200 watts right there. Back is pretty plain, nothing really to show off there, just the Council of Vapor logo again. This is just an outer sleeve that comes off like so. Then we have the really nice design there of the actual Tempest. Same goes on the sides and the top and the back and all that good stuff. Pretty much the same thing as the sleeve. But I really do love Council of Vapor's packaging. I've said that pretty much since the first product I've ever reviewed by them. So here we go. We have the little visit us on Facebook little seal thing here. You could win a chance to, or you could get a chance to win an Addy, a coil head, or a Kindred mod. So that's kind of cool. Go ahead and check that out. Of course, you have your quick start guide. Let's just take a look at that real quick. Very, 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 very basic. Really nothing fancy going on in this little thing here. Not a lot of pictures, not a lot of graphics, not a lot of anything like that, which I'm kind of bummed on because that's what I like to see in my quick start guides. Here we go. We have our Tempest. That's what she looks like when it's in its original box. Maybe a little bit dirtier than before, but you know, whatever. Taking that out, nothing else in this box here. No USB cable since it's not USB updatable. Nothing else. This thing is completely empty. Moving on, let's go over some of the specs on this device and just give you guys a good solid look at it. So first of all, of course, it is a triple 18650 platform. The wattage output is 1 to 200 watts. The minimum atomizer resistance is 0.05, but I like to disagree with that because I tried a 0.05 for my temp control build and it didn't work. But anyways, versatile temperature control module, beg to differ again. Premium zinc and chrome construction, really nice looking. I mean, it's a fingerprint magnet, yes, but overall, I'd say it's very nice and classy looking. Durable rubberized paint finish. We'll go over that a little bit later. I've got a little story to tell you guys, but I really do like the grippiness and the feel of it. Elegant carbon fiber texture panel for ergonomic grip. Yes, I do like that. I do like that. Intuitive OLED screen. Yeah, it's pretty simple, pretty basic. I have a few minor complaints about it, but not so much, you know. 3 ramp mode, soft, standard, and powerful. Sliding battery cover, which I'm not really sure if that's a cover, so to speak. It's more of a battery magazine, if you will. And a basic spring-loaded 510 connection. There you go. That's the specs on this device here. Now I'm just going to show you from top to bottom. It's got that real nice X pattern on the top, which means if you end up over dripping or anything like that, it's going to find its way away from the 510 connection. It's not going to find its way down into there. So that's actually kind of a good added little feature, and it's a nice bit of design as well. You could definitely see that mirror finish screen there. It's really reflecting my lights, but that's also going to mean not only fingerprint magnet, but also pretty much impossible to see in direct daylight. The buttons are nice. They're rather clicky, but they're rather silent as well, which I kind of like that fact. They're very tactile feeling. You know, you can really find the buttons no problem. Even if you're in pitch black, you can just kind of feel your way around this device. So yeah, there you go. There's that little carbon fiber patch on this side. Actually, the way I have my lighting set up, you can't really tell that this thing's getting a little bit grubby, but yeah, I've been getting my dirty hands all over it, and it's seen some wear and tear over the past couple of weeks. I brought it to Pittsburgh, so that definitely took its toll on it, but other than that, it's a nice solid little piece here. On the bottom, we have this really unique looking latch, which is to allow the battery compartment to come out. That's a really kind of different styling. I've never seen anything like this, but yeah, that's where your batteries are going to go. This definitely feels very, very plasticky, so try not to drop this piece if you're changing out your batteries, because that's going to definitely you know, cause it to break if you end up dropping it. So again, even right now, I'm having kind of a hard time figuring out which way these batteries are going to go in. So yeah, and that's a negative, and this one should be positive. Yeah, this one's positive. So you're just going to install my batteries like that, and that's what it looks like all put together there. Really cool looking, kind of looks like, you know, a pistol magazine or something like that. So this slides in with a nice little satisfying click. I tend to play with this thing probably more than I should, I guess, because it's definitely noticing a bit of a gap at the bottom. I'll show you guys a little close up here. So I'm just going to show you the gap. There you go. Little bummed out at that, because when I first got this device, there was absolutely no gap. It was nice and flush, really nice and level here, but I'm starting to run my fingers across the bottom and noticing a nice ridge right there. Super bummed about that, because it definitely reminds me of what happened to my Vapor Flask Stout. As you can see, it has the wattage setting. If you press the up button here, it's going to jump between the different memory modes. I think it's got three memory settings, so not quite as much as other devices that I've had in the past. So unfortunately, you know, it's a little bit fiddly when it comes to adjusting the wattage. You have to press the down button, then you have to adjust it, and then hit the fire button to lock it in. It does show your resistance, however, it doesn't show your voltage until you're actually firing the device. I really wish it would have showed the voltage on that main screen there, but that definitely has more to do with the chipset than anything else. It uses the same chipset as the Limitless box mod. I've noticed they're identical. They might use a little bit of a different LED screen. When you want to enter the menu, it's 5 clicks up top, and then you enter the menu here. So you go different mode, power and temp. Then if you want temperature for nickel, temperature titanium, temperature stainless steel. Then you can choose your units, whether you want Fahrenheit or Celsius. Click the button again, you set your temperature. I've got it set for 580 degrees. And rotation, you can actually flip the screen around so it faces you no matter which way you like to hold this device. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. And finally, exit menu. So either one of these buttons will get you back to the main screen. How to shut it off, 5 clicks up top. You can just, when it says power off, you press either one of these 2 buttons there. Powers the device off. Simple as that. But anyways, just give you a quick look at the battery compartment. There's the little latch. That's what's securing it. Again, that little, you can hear it. That thing annoys me. Nice little close-up on there. But yeah, that's the close-ups of the Council of Vapor 200W Tempest mod. And let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on it, and talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's go over some of my personal thoughts on this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Start off with the pros, and my first pro is that it feels great in your right hand. Now I put the emphasis on the word right because that's really the only way it feels very natural to me. If I try to use it lefty, it just does not feel right to me, and if I try to use it backwards, again, same thing, and righty backwards, I just feel like I've got like this claw thing going on here, and I'm not too happy with it. So I guess in this pro comes a little bit of a con as well, but you know what, if you use it with your pointer finger on the fire button in this sort of configuration here, that feels very natural to me and even a little bit better than the rouleau. Now my next pro is that every single Addy I've put on top of this thing not only fits great but looks great as well. I've used everything from a 25mm Griffin to my Velocity V2 and everything in between. Everything just looks so great on here, especially the Coil Art Mage RTA. That just looks super classy glossy on there. I really like the low profile design, and it just kind of gives it a nice finished look, especially with the black top cap on there matching the little side panel and everything like that. But anyways, everything else has looked really great. As you can see, I'm using it with the recoil RDA, and it just matches that top section just so perfectly, and I really do love that. Which kind of brings me to my next topic here, which is the finish is very sleek and clean looking. I really like the rubberized paint. I like the little patch of carbon fiber here. It just feels really nice on the hand. Don't feel like it makes my hands sweat. I definitely kind of get like more sweaty hands when I'm using my Rouleau. But anyways, just love the overall finish of this, and the design is just really nice and classy and sleek looking. Just overall, very good look to this device, very good form factor. My next pro is going to be the fact that the batteries last me a very long time. Now, this is a triple 18650 battery device, and the same can be said for pretty much any triple 18650 device out there. However, I feel like I get a little bit more time out of this device than I do my RX 200. Now, that kind of comes with a little bit of a con, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, but I got to tell you, I've used this thing at 120 watts all day long, and my batteries last me all day, which is great. And my final pro is that the ramp modes are very similar to the SX chip. If I'm using some fuse Claptons or something similar to that, something a little bit more intricate than a standard round wire build, I can set it to powerful mode, and the ramp up time is going to be almost instant. I really do like the fact that they included that with this chipset here, and it definitely helps out with the more complicated builds that I've been getting into lately. But otherwise, you can use it on soft or standard as well, and that's going to save you a little bit of battery life. But I do like that they included that feature on somewhat of a cheaper chip kind of device. All right, guys, let's talk about some cons. My first con is going to be the fact that this thing is a brick. It is heavy and weighty, definitely a little bit more heavy than the RX 200, but with that comes a little bit more stylishness. I mean, obviously I can see what they were doing with this device here, being a little bit more stylish than the RX 200, and I like the little accent on here of carbon fiber. I like the rubberized paint, but that definitely adds a little bit of weight. Plus, not only that, the battery release mechanism and all the internals here are definitely adding a lot of weight to it, whereas the RX 200 just has a simple magnetic battery door, which is very easy to operate. So with that, with the stylishness kind of comes that extra added weight. My second con is kind of a big one, kind of a deal breaker for me personally. It hasn't happened to this particular device, but I have seen it in person. A customer of mine came into the shop with a Tempest mod that has no paint on it, and he bought it about 2 weeks ago. Every bit of paint that was on it is stripped off completely. All that rubberized, nice, beautiful grip that I've been talking about this whole video was completely gone, and I was super bummed to see that, because now I've been living in fear of the same thing happening to this device, and I'm kind of bummed that that happens, because I really do like the actual finish on this. The only thing that I've had go wrong with this device so far is it just getting a little bit dirty and grubby from me and my dirty hands getting all over it, you know, which is kind of the reason I like the black version a little bit better. But you know what, that's a very subjective thing. But yeah, definitely watch out for this, because the paint can peel off. I'm not sure why it happens, but I can definitely see it being an issue for everyone out there watching this video. My third con is that the battery magazine is starting to sag. As you saw in the close-ups, I have a little bit of play now in my battery door, my like little magazine thing here. Yeah, definitely noticeable little gap there, and I'm super bummed on that, because the same thing happened with my Vapor Flask Stout, and that just kind of led me to just put that device down and just leave it alone. And I don't want to stop using this device, but if this gets any worse, I'm gonna have to just put it on the shelf or give it away or something like that, because honestly, I can't be having that. It really just bugs me, and my OCD kicks in whenever I see something like that, and I just want to mess with it until it's just going to end up breaking or something like that. I feel like this part will fail at some point, so that is definitely another major con for me personally. My fourth con is that it's hard to see how the batteries go inside the magazine. Now, they did label the terminals, the positive or negatives on the actual battery magazine itself. However, it's still pretty hard to see, and I've had to take the magazine out a few times to fix a backwards battery here and there, which is definitely an issue for me personally. I like something where you can slap the batteries in it and you're good to go. This one, I've had to take this out a few times to adjust the battery, and that definitely bugs me a lot. I really wish they would have come up with a color coding system that they could have put on the inside, maybe a sticker or something very simple like that, which they could have lined the inside battery trays with, so that it's a lot easier for people to see which way the batteries go in. My next con is that the power feels a bit weak. Now this has to do with my batteries lasting a long time. I feel like they kind of embellish the wattage a little bit. I'm not feeling like I'm getting a true wattage out of this, whereas on the RX 200, if I set it to 100 watts, I know the type of vape I should be getting out of it, and I've been testing it out extensively. I've been putting the batteries from one to the other and just testing it with the same batteries at the same wattage, and I'm definitely getting a little bit more power out of my RX 200. So I don't have charts or graphs or anything like that. You're gonna have to wait for DJ LSB Vapes to do that, or Phil Basardo if he gets his hands on one of these things. And I don't have any physical proof or anything like that. It's just my own theory, it's my own thought, it's my own feeling. I can definitely tell there is a difference in the vape quality between the two devices, and that is another major issue for me. Finally, the temp control is god-awful on this thing. I tried doing it for my temp control build for Fresh Build Week, and when I went to fire it up, it absolutely did not want to read the coils whatsoever. Now, the coils that I built for that video were a little bit low. They were at 0.05, but I put the same RDA on my Vapor Flask Stout, and it fired up no problem whatsoever. So therefore, it leads me to believe that the temp control on this thing, not going to be the best. I mean, it's not going to be a deal breaker for most of you out there, because if you're buying a 200 watt box mod, you're probably not buying it for the temperature control. So my final topic for today is whether or not I believe it's worth purchasing, and unfortunately I'm going to have to say no on this one, because there's just too many detracting factors to this mod for me to actually in good conscience recommend it to you guys. I was really bummed about that because I've been waiting for this mod for months. They started teasing it a few months back, and then I saw the prototype version at VPX Las Vegas, and I talked to them about it there, and I was super excited to get it in my hands. And when it finally showed up, I loved it for the first week, but then I started noticing the flaws, and now this thing is starting to, you know, basically fall apart on me, and I'm really not too happy about that. So honestly, unless they fix some of those issues that I mentioned, I really don't feel like this one's going to be worth purchasing. If you had in front of you an RX 200S or a Council of Vapor Tempest, I'm going to have to say I'm going to go with the RX 200. Unfortunately, I love Council of Vapor. I love their products. I love everything they do for me, but I'm going to have to say pass on this one until they can fix those issues. Real quick, I'm just going to blow a few more clouds with this thing, and then we'll sign out. Alright guys, that about does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Of course, leave me comments in the box below of what you think of the Council of Vapor Tempest 200 watt box mod. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to talk to you about any questions that you may have down there. Of course, also check out the description below. That's where you're going to find the advocacy links. Make sure you fight for your right to vape. August 8th is coming up soon, so make sure you get out there and do your part. You don't have to do everything, but you do have to do something. Also, check me out on all my different social medias. I have Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me on there. Like my page on Facebook. Check out my Snapchat. And if you want to give me a couple of bucks on my Patreon, that would be awesome as well. So thank you guys so much for joining me. And as always, vape on.